Hi, and welcome to Yoga for Herniated Discs. There are a couple of rules when starting a yoga practice with an injury like this. Number one is pay attention to your body. So not all disc injuries are the same. So I really want you to pay attention. If you feel pain, back off. Number two, we want to, at all times, keep a nice curved spine. And that means we're never going to do this where we're kind of rounding the lumbar. We're going to keep it nice and naturally curved the whole time. And you'll also notice that in these classes, the class tends to be centered around either you're lying down, you're standing up, or you're on all fours, because we want to avoid these transitions as much as possible because they're really difficult when you're keeping your spine straight like this at all times. You'll also see I have a couple of blocks here. You need a couple of blocks if you're going to practice yoga with a herniated disc. So if you don't have any, maybe you have a little stool you can use today, but get online, order yourself a couple of nice, solid cork blocks to sit on. So we're going to start seated, and again, we're sitting on our blocks, and the reason we need them to sit is the fact that most of us, especially if we're a little bit tight when we're sitting down on the ground, we start curving that lower spine, and we want to avoid that. So we're going to perch ourselves up, sitting up nice and tall. So when we have an injury like a herniated disc, what tends to happen is that we get weak glutes and weak core. So the yoga we're going to be doing is going to be focused on strengthening your glutes, strengthening your core, because that is going to help your movement and that's going to help your injury. You're in your hopefully comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall, and again, just keep remembering that nice curved spine, and close your eyes, breathing through your nose. And as you inhale, I want you to release your lower belly. And as you exhale, gently move your belly button towards your spine. Then let your chin come down to your chest and circle your neck all the way around. One more time. Keep sitting up nice and tall. Change direction. And come to center. I want you to lean over onto your right side, and this is because this is a transition. This is a transition, so that's a difficult area for us. So lean over to the side, keep your spine nice and straight, and then make your way onto all four. And you can put the blocks to the side. Come into a nice tabletop, and you see I have that nice curve in my spine. Lift your palms up to that first row of knuckles and lower back down. And lift and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. I want you to take your left fingertips to the back of your head. We're going to do a little bit of thoracic movement. So I want you to see if you can open up. And remember, this is not about how deep I can go, how much I can move. It's okay that the movement is just a little bit opening and then down. And open and back. And remember, you're paying attention to your back. So if this is bothering that lower back, don't do it. Or make the movement even smaller. One more. And come back. And you'll notice when you're moving like this, you also have to stabilize. You have to use your belly here. So move your belly button towards your spine. Other hand. Again, a little opening. And down. Open. And down. Open. Down. Come back to center. I want you to lift your right leg up. Point your toes. And again, a little bit of engagement here in your belly. Just stabilizing that lumbar spine. We have the curve, but we don't want to have the movement happen so much in the spine. We want to exercise our glutes and our hamstrings here. So I want you to pulse up that right leg, just like little pulses. And again, you're resisting with your belly. We're going to pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take it back down. Lift the left leg up, point the toes. And again, we're going to pulse up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower back down. We're going to do this one more time. So lift your right leg up. A little bit of engagement in your belly and pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it back down. Other side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And come down. Next, I'm just going to move these blocks out of the way. We're going to lift the right knee out to the side. And what I want you to think about is, I don't want you to compensate by leaning over to the other side. And remember, we want to stabilize through our core. So you're only going to lift the leg as high as you can. So lift your right leg out to the side. It's like a dog peeing up against a fire hydrant. And lower. And lift. And lower. And we're going to do another 3, 2, 1. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And come to center. And bring your attention back to your breath. Still breathing through your nose. Even though your heart rate might be going up, you're still going to keep that nasal breath going. And I want you to step your right leg out to the side. And again, you're keeping that nice lumbar curve. And you can very gently maybe explore this stretch. That means just move your torso a little from side to side. Notice how that feels. And what we're going to try and do, we're going to try and do exactly what we did with the fire hydrant. We're going to try and lift that foot off the ground. But now, of course, it's a straight leg. It's a lot harder. So it's okay. It's even okay if it's not lifting at all today, or even if it's just lifting an inch or two. Keep the natural curve, a little bit of engagement in your belly. And again, remember, we don't want to do this by compensating, by leaning over. I want you to lift up and down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Left leg out to the side. And I want you to lift for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to center. And then tuck your toes. And what we're going to be doing, we're going to lift the knees just an inch or two off the ground. So this is all about core. And again, you're keeping that natural curve in your spine. That's the most important thing. But you're also really engaging here in the front of your belly. So tuck your toes. Keep that shape to your spine. Lift the knees off. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down. And remember, if that's not working for you, if you are getting little pain triggers from doing this, then don't do it. You can always just stand here on all fours and focus on your breath. That's a great place to be, and we all need to do it. Otherwise, we're going to do this one more time. Tuck your toes, lift your knees just off the mat and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees back down. And you can untuck your toes. And then I want you to walk your hands forward and lower your hips down towards the mat. Lower down onto your forearms. Come into a Sphinx pose. Reaching through the crown of your head. Shoulder blades are sliding down your back, so they're not your earrings. And a little bit of engagement in your glutes. And you can stay right here, or you can press into your hands. Lift your forearms off the mat, come into a seal pose. Make sure those shoulders didn't just slide up to your ears, and then lower back down. Lift up and down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Come all the way down onto your belly, hands by your chest, and then lift back up into your tabletop. And walk your hands back. Come onto your knees. If you have your block ready, you can sit on your blocks. Otherwise, you can tuck your toes and come onto your heels. If you can keep the back curved, then come to a seat. And that's it for today. I hope this has worked for you. So it's always difficult with these disc injuries because often you see yoga for lower back pain, which, yeah, you have lower back pain, but lower back pain that's not disc related is very, very different from disc related injuries. So lower back is normally nice and rounding your back and stretching the muscles and twisting, and that's just nothing more painful for you with a herniated disc. So that's why it really takes specialty classes. I hope you enjoyed today, and namaste.